In 1997, Papa Shango was almost going to come back. We've seen the photos. Talk about the idea of Papa Shango coming back in 1997 and then the change that took you to the Nation of Domination instead.
I got to go back just a little bit. The thing about me, and the reason you've seen me come and go so much, is I owned a strip club also called Cheetahs in Las Vegas, all right? And so I always had another means of making money. So for me, wrestling was fun, and it was going to be fun, and I was going to be around big, stupid, crazy people like me that like to party. I get to TV now, and they talk me into coming back. And I said, okay, we're going to do a different Papa Shango. I got in better shape, and it's not going to be so cartoonish, and it's going to be more wrestling this time. I'm like, cool. So I show up to TV, and they paint me up and everything, and we're getting ready to go, and they say, Vince wants to talk to you. I'm like, cool, I like to talk to Vince too. So I go in there, and he goes, Charles, change of plans. And I'm like, change of plans? He goes, we're going to put you in the Nation of Domination. We're going to call you Kama Mustafa. You and Ron Simmons are going to wrestle the Undertaker tonight, and you're going to go over. And I'm like, what? And I said, you know anything I said to him? I said, okay, well, do I get paid the same? And he said, yes, you do. And we were off running. Then he told me, he goes, wait till next week and we'll catch you up. Because that's the first time I met Ron Simmons. I knew who he was, but I never met him. And so I went to Ron, and he's like, nah, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And so he goes, they never tell me nothing. Damn. And so the next week, Vince pulled me and him in the office, and he says, do you guys know who Dwayne Johnson is? I didn't know who he was. Ron knew who he was. And he says, well, we tried to bring him out this way, and it didn't work. We're going to try to do something different with him this time. And they said, and once, I remember this like it was yesterday. Vince says, once we get these people to hate this kid, when we turn him, he's going to be the biggest thing wrestling's ever saw. Now, I don't know if he says that about everybody, but he said that about Rock. And then Rock came in, and right away he had issues, because he didn't want to wear, we all wear the hats, right? He didn't want to wear a hat. And then he didn't want to wear the stripes and all that stuff. So me and Ron basically said, you either do this stuff, we don't care about the hat, but if you don't put the stripes on, we're not going to do it. And so he did it, and he ended up being a really cool dude. And he's had nothing but success, hasn't he? But yeah, he was a cool dude, but that's how it happened.
And when you find that you're in the Nation of Domination, this kind of militant black group in WWF at the time, how did you feel about that as an idea of being in that faction?
Didn't care. I was a voodoo man. I was an ultimate fighter. I'm a pimp. Didn't care. I just tried. That's probably the closest thing that I really am. But we talked about this. It's business for me. And whatever they threw at me, I just made it business and did the best I could, even Godfather, which I hated.
We're going to get to that.
Do we have to?
Briefly. So, you mentioned when they tell you're in the Nation, and that first night you pin Undertaker on TV. I mean, did that feel like a big deal for you, having, you'd wrestled him before and stuff, but this is now you pinning him?
It would have meant a bigger deal if I did it by myself, not two of us. But I mean, that was more him being my friend, trying to give me a rub. That's all that was. He probably went to Vince and says, I'll do it,
And being his friend, being so close to Undertaker, was that a help to you backstage, or did that hinder you? How was that navigating that?
When I first came in, it helped me in the sense that it got me in the door where you don't get in that door. We call it being in the house. It got me in the house, not on the porch and not out in the fields. And that helped a lot. But then, that could only get you so far. And then they said, Godfather, he's pretty cool. And it all worked out pretty well. But it helped a lot at the beginning. In the back, no, because I could probably beat up most of the guys back there anyway. So that wasn't an issue. That wasn't an issue at all.
Someone I wanted to ask you about, he doesn't get talked about very often, but what was it like working with Ahmed Johnson?
The thing I say about Ahmed is he just didn't get it. He didn't get it. And Ron tried to help him. I tried to help him. Everybody tried to help him, but he wouldn't listen. He thought he knew it all. He had no wrestling ability whatsoever, and he kept hurting people. Well, once you start hurting their top stars, you're not going to be around long because that's their money. And he just didn't get it. He didn't get it. And you should see what he looks like now. Has anybody seen him lately? He's got to be 400 pounds. And if you Google Ahmed Johnson and see what he looks like now, when I seen him 2 times ago that I seen him, I thought he was Abdullah the Butcher. You know, I'm not joking. I'm like, who's that over there? Is that Abby? They're like, that's Ahmed. I'm like, no, it's not. They go, yes, it is. And I'm like, wow. So.
And at one point, because he was in the feud with the Nation for like a year, and then eventually he joins the Nation. I mean, did you when you found out he's joining the Nation, did you guys think that was going to work, or was that one of the ideas of trying to teach him?
We had no idea. Same with Mark Henry. Mark Henry couldn't work at all that's why they put Mark Henry in the Nation, because Ron would be like, no, you stay out there and you're going to put in the work, you know, and that's how he learned a lot, because Ron would make him stay out there. Ahmed didn't put in the time. He did, like I said, he didn't get it. I mean, he never caught on. Vince loved his body. He loved his look. Plus, Ahmed Johnson couldn't talk. You couldn't understand what he couldn't talk.
Yeah, I think it would be a fun game to put subtitles on with an Ahmed Johnson promo and see what happens.
I mean, you're like, what? You know, we're gonna do it. I'm like, what are you saying? I bet you he gets told what 100 times a day. Like, what? What? I'm like, dude, I have no idea what he's speaking. I know it sounds funny, but it's true.
Talk about, you initially when you're in the Nation of Domination, you're with Ron Simmons, with Rock, but then Ron Simmons is out the group and it's the new Nation, Rocky, D'Lo, Mark Henry, and you. What was it like being in it without Ron Simmons compared to with him?
You can't forget it's business, so it's just you move on. It's like me coming in and they're saying, you're not going to be Papa, you're going to be this. You just keep going forward. It's a job. Whatever they throw at you, you just do the best you can with that. We knew Ahmed wasn't going to work from the beginning because he didn't listen. We knew Mark Henry would work because he listened. And when you have somebody like Ron Simmons is like the father figure to all the black guys, even me, and he's only a year older than me, okay? And he's the guy we go to, and he just, Mark listened to him. Ahmed just, I don't know, man. He just, like I said, D'Lo beat him up. Did you know that? Yeah, that's a story that's out there that he says that never happened. But whoever heard that story, it did happen. I was there, and it did happen.
So what was the story?
Ahmed was basically trying to bully D'Lo, and D'Lo wasn't having it. And then Ahmed took a swing at him and missed, and D'Lo took him down and chicken winged him and hooked him. It was going to break his arm until I said, D'Lo, let him up. And then Ron came over. D'Lo was like, no, I'm letting him. I'm going to break his arm. I'm like, D'Lo, if you break his arm, they're going to fire you, bro. Let him up. But that really happened.
And, you talk about when Rocky first came to the Nation, there was he didn't want to wear the hat or whatever. By the time it's, he's the leader of the Nation in character, were you guys getting on better? Was the relationship better by that point?
No, but right after that, it was right after he put on the stripes, we were cool. Nah, we had no problems. Only problem we had is Vince made us ride together. Vince says, I want Ron and D'Lo. It was me, D'Lo, Rocky, and Ron. And he goes, I want you guys to ride together because I want people to see that you guys are a unit, right? And then we rode together for a while, and then The Rock came to me, and he goes, hey, Bear. A lot of people call me Bear. He's like, hey, Bear, I can't ride with you no more, man. I'm like, what do you mean you can't ride with me no more? He goes, for you that don't know, I'm a big cannabis person. I have my own cannabis line in California. I'm a big cannabis person. So Rocky comes to me and he goes, I just can't ride with you no more. I'm like, why? He says, everywhere I go, I smell like weed. He goes and they say, Rock, you smell like weed. He's like, yeah, do you smoke? No, I don't smoke. And I don't think he does. No, I don't smoke. But then he comes around again like 2 weeks later and they're like, Rock, you smelling like weed again. And so he's like, dude, I just can't ride with you. So I'm like, well, get out the car. I don't care. So me and Ron, I started riding with Ron and Teddy Long. And then I started riding with the Acolytes, Ron and Bradshaw.
How was that?
They're just like me. They're just as stupid as I am. If they were here last night, they would have been as drunk as I was because they would have been out drinking, good guys. Two of my, Undertaker, Ron, Bradshaw, some of my best friends.